What's going on, everybody? My name is Tyler.
And I'm Luke.
You already know who it is. I'm back.
It's him. It's the
Welcome
guy.
Welcome back, EJ. Thanks so much for always coming back and dealing with our stuff.
Thanks for having me third time. This is a milestone.
Is it the third?
This
I feel
is
like
the fourth
this is
time.
so much more than the third
All right,
time.
fine. All right, if we're going to go there, yes, this is the fourth time. Nobody needs to know this.
And welcome to episode 24 of Holy Heck, I Really Like Love Live. By the way, if you're a brand new subscriber, which we just got a whole lot of, welcome to the show for the first time, if this is your first episode. Here we like to talk about every single Love Live song from the very beginning until right now, and kind of analyze them, give our opinions, and yeah, go from there. And this time we're going to be talking about BB's second single, which is Cutie Panther and Natsu Owaranai, which is a crowd favorite.
A crowd favorite in our crowd. It's only our crowd favorite.
But we make up for so much of the other crowd, it's not even funny.
Cutie Panther, ooh, that's a crowd favorite.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm saying Cutie Panther's a crowd favorite.
I thought you were saying Natsu. I thought you were saying Natsu.
Well, both of them.
Well, I was more talking about
like
the whole single, but like
they're both sure. Okay, they're both crowd favorites. They're damn good.
So if you don't know, we'd like to answer questions from the last episode. So we got one coming in from Beth F. Oh, first of all, our question last time was, has your opinion of a song changed from the preview to the full version in a positive or negative way? And we got one coming in from Beth F. And they say, the second ED for Sunshine changed my opinion in a very positive way. When I first heard it, as good as the melody was, I was a little salty that there was so much chica in the TV says. I'm someone who prefers all the girls get an equal amount of solos. Yes, the full version gave us a lot more chica, but to be honest, after hearing the full version, the bridge, and well, just everything about it just wowed me. And I kind of got over my why is Chica the center all the time phase. The song really suits Chica, so for once it doesn't seem like Anshan was forced to sing more lines just because she voices the main character. Anyway, this song is probably the best song in Aqua's right now. Ooh, okay. It is my snow halation, to be honest. Ooh,
bold words.
That is a thing to say.
I respect it.
And Snow Halation's not even my favorite song from Muse. I hope one day I'll be able to cover this and hit the high notes just as well as Aqua's did. Yeah, I can feel that. It's funny because you go on and you talk about what I talked about last episode about Ruby getting treated unfairly in my list. And I think my list is kind of the example of a song that I ended up... Like, I mean, of course, I got really disappointed when the full version came out, but, like, it's one of the songs, like you said, where the full version was just so supremely good that I had to just get over what was bothering me about it. Like, I was fine, I guess I'll listen to it and be happy about it, and, like, that kind of thing. So I totally feel you on that one.
Yeah, you got to take a chill laxative and just enjoy the music. That's only 90s kids know that chill laxative reference. Get me out. So dude, another one that we got is...
I feel like there's people that wouldn't, like, unironically, or, like, wouldn't know that you're saying it ironically, like, only 90s kids.
Only 90s kids know.
Only 90s kids.
So we got another answer from our boy Petukis. I'm going to call him Pet My Horse from now on.
Pet My Horse.
So we got my boy Pet My Horse. He's got a negative and a positive. His negative is Kwariowski from Guilty Kiss. When I heard the preview, it sounded metal. The full version came out, and I was so disappointed. I thought the song would keep the sound it had in the beginning, and then the whole thing changed after Mari's solo. Sure.
Preach.
I think that's fair. That's fair.
I can agree with that. I know EJ. I know you're like a big advocate of saying that.
Yeah, I mean, if that answer wasn't already said, I would have probably said that for mine too. But I mean, I still enjoy the song. It's just that it was so close to being like one of my absolute favorites if it just maintained that sound. But as Luke likes to say, it just didn't go the way that he wanted it to. So it's still enjoyable.
For me,
that's
still
what I was actually. I was listening to it today, funny enough, and I was like, I almost forgot that the chorus was like from a different song. And I was like getting into it. I was like, oh man, Kwariowski, it's so good. And then like the verse came on like doo-doo, doo-doo, like the chugging guitar. It's like, this song is so good. And then they get to the chorus, it's like, oh yeah, ooh, I remember now.
You know
what?
It's
not bad. It's just ooh.
I still love it. I love every part of that song. That's like a beautiful woman. I love every part of it. Positive, Thrilling One Way from Aquas. I thought that song became one of my favorites after I heard the full version. I love the middle part with Yoshiko, Riko, Ruby, and Yo. I also saw it in the live viewing, which made it even better. That song was so hyped live, I've heard.
Yeah, that was The best part about that song wasn't even the fact that it was a hype song. It was the fact that it came, I think, right after Daydream Warrior, which is another really hype song. So it's just the hype didn't stop.
And it's just a good ass song, dude. That song's so good. That one's gonna age. That one ages like fine wine. So we got those.
What are your that ages like a beautiful
beautiful woman. That one ages like a beautiful woman. You love every part of it.
Foreshadowing. I'm guaranteeing that this analogy is coming back sometime in the future of this broadcast.
Of this specific broadcast.
Yes.
Ellie sings like a beautiful woman. So we got those two answers. Now, EJ, do you got an answer to this question?
Yes, I do. And it's probably no surprise to some people who are regular viewers, but my answer would be Daisuki Datora Daijobu. And that's because, like, the preview was, I guess, like what we saw in the anime itself, where they had it sort of segmented, like Start Dash. So you had the first part of it, and then they just jumped into the second half of it. So, I mean, that's probably part of the reason people don't talk about that song quite as much, is because the initial impression wasn't the same as you get for other songs. But also, just like the way that it's written, you don't get the full experience if you don't listen to the full song. Like, it is so dependent on hearing the rest of the song that it's just completely different. So that's definitely like a positive upgrade in my opinion.
Super good song. EJ just wanted a reason to talk about it. And
of course,
he will be on
any excuse I can.
Gotta plug that in any chance you get.
The real hype part is he's going to be on when we talk about that song. So
And just,
very much on purpose.
Expect that that's going to be probably like a 2-hour podcast, just, forewarning.
I was thinking about this today. I mean, like, now that you say that, I was like, what's going to happen when we get to the Mijuku Dreamer episode? Like, are we just going to be okay with that being an hour and 45-minute episode? Like,
you're going to be primed by that point because you're going to already have had like a 2-hour podcast. So no worries there.
it would be an hour 45 minutes, and an hour and a half of it will be the first song. Will be the Yume song.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, Mijuku Dreamer, it's kind of whatever. Like, not really memorable or anything.
We'll just lean into the mics and say, the song is good. There we go. That's it.
I feel like we've done that for like our first episode.
We did.
Fun fact: when we were first talking to EJ, when we first asked him to come on the podcast for the first time, I think your first choice was Daijobu episode. Like, I'd like to come on that one.
We were like, that's in decades.
Yeah.
Look how the time has flown, dude.
My note file is probably like a full novel at this point.
So, I'm trying to jump into some BV. We got two really, really good. We got two really good songs.
EJ's boys.
Oh right, I gotta shout out my boys, Dextroy and Styx in the comments. I see you, you see me. I just had to acknowledge the hype right there. Okay, all right, you took it a little too far there.
Nobody sees anybody.
I mean, I still love you guys.
Internet.
You just not no kiss.
I mean, they asked for it, wouldn't be opposed.
Sugoi.
Just saying.
Sugoi.
Have you seen Kimono Friends, Luke?
Nope.
Neither have I.
I feel like you'd like it, judging by how much you've said Sugoi.
Is that where that's from? Okay, because I've heard you guys like do this constantly, so now I understand.
Well, the opening.
I mean, like, Sugoi's like a word.
I mean, I know that much, but I figured there's like something more to it that I'm missing out on. But anyways, you were saying something about BB.
The main character. I was talking about BB. Yeah, have you heard of that subunit? They're pretty good. And right now we got Cutie Panther, which is really hype. So let's continue the hype and play Cutie Panther.
So now that Muse has been out of operation for a couple years now, we can really start to look back and say which songs are the most iconic. You got like stuff like Snow Halation, the first OP, but is this the most iconic subunit song?
I would think it's up there. I mean, anytime that I look at subunit discussions, I feel like this song gets brought up at some point.
Yeah, I feel like this song is up there with Psychic Fire, funnily enough coming from BB.
Yeah, I think this surpasses Psychic Fire. I think this was like the song that really just catapulted the subunits into this new echelon.
Yeah, I see a lot of people talking about Shunjo Romantic, and Anona Gambre.
Yeah, no, very good songs, but I think there's a difference between really, really, really good song and like truly iconic song. And I think this is, for me at least, by far the most iconic subunit song in all of Love Live.
I need to think about this more.
Yeah, you got to tank on that one.
I think in terms of just being iconic, I think Anona Gambre is pretty up there because it's iconic as hell. But yeah, I could rest well at night knowing that this would be the most.
Yeah. There's just so many people when you talk to them about subunits and you talk about what their favorite subunit is. There's so many people that point towards Cutie Panther being the reason why they love BB.
I get this impression.
That's what leads it to how iconic it is.
Yeah, I feel like people just have this general appreciation for BB more so than other subunits. I'm not sure, but that's just the impression that I get, which is why like I was surprised to see, if you look at the sales, or at least the chart positions for all of the second singles, Cutie Panther wasn't number one. It was, out of the three, it was the second place. Like I think the Benetsu Kara Mystery one was 4th at its peak, Cutie Panther was 8th, and the Prantom one was 10th, I want to say.
Well, I can tell you why that is. Have you seen the cover with Nozomi?
Big fan.
Like that's why it is.
Big fan.
No, and we talked about it last time we talked about BB. We talked about how on that one poll where they ranked the most famous anime idol groups of all time, BB was in the top 10 when no other subunit. I think Lily White was in the top 15. So I think that just helps it more with how iconic this song is.
All right, that makes sense. And actually, okay,
also,
you just mentioned the cover, so can I take us on like a little journey real quick?
The cover's so good.
All right, so the covers for these BB songs, like I didn't realize until like I looked at them all at once, but there's a story progression going on here. Like you start with just their first single and it's like, okay, they're posing like side by side for the camera, and they sort of do the same thing for the next one. But then after that, like you start to see like Nico's invading on Ellie's space, and she's moving over to Maki. And then for the Silent Tonight cover, she's just like sitting next to Maki. And then after that, it's just like they're done. Like they're just constantly next to each other. And then like on the final one, they're just like on top of each other. So like they're telling stories here.
And in this one, Nico's very insecure, while nobody else is not.
They
quite
gave
as
Nico.
insecure.
There was a wardrobe screw up. They gave
Maki's
Nico the
taking a
wrong
glance
bathing
over
suit.
there. Also, the whole reason that like I did this to begin with was because I was like, wait a minute, why does Maki have 2 hair flowers? There's no need for 2 in her hair. And I was like, oh, it's the same ones as Nico. Okay, I get it now.
Ooh woo!
Oh, hell yeah!
That's like Ruby having 2 socks in Mijuka Dreamer when everyone has one, except for Daya who has no 0 socks. Yeah,
that's some deep lore right there.
Okay, you ready for this? This is a cute song about chasing and sticking to your beloved like glue. Pile, whenever the hell this song came out.
Okay.
This song is not about that. No,
this
is the rapiest
entirely
Love Live
wrong.
song.
No, this is about that. It's just, is it about that? I always point to this song as the single rapiest song in Love Live. It's very like non-consensual if you look at the lyrics, like almost like uncomfortably so. Like, BB, please give me some personal space. And I think it's really funny because we didn't really like get too into vocals yet, but it's just really funny. You know, like the kind of like low whispery parts of the song, like towards the end and at the very beginning, like na 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 na. I think it's really funny that Nico exists in general because I think that Ellie and Maki really nail like the kind of like sexually charged like voice they're going for, and then Nico's like like she's just like she's
the gremlin.
She's trying her best.
She's the resident sex gremlin.
Gremlin.
Gremlin. My face went gremlin.
So musically, you know, it's really funny because I thought I was gonna say something like, "Is this the highest BPM song in Love Live?" And EJ chimed in with, "No." And real quick, I'm going to have you guys.
It wasn't that harsh, I promise.
I'm gonna have you guys guess right now. I'm gonna go silent for 3 seconds. What is the highest BPM Love Live song? All right, take your guesses. It's "Yay Happy Christmas" from
Moshimo.
Aquas. No, it's not Moshimo. That is the least.
That's the slowest.
It's "Jingle Bells" from Aquas. Jingle Bells got Owaranai.
I think it was tied with something else,
Yeah,
like
Korokaro
Someday or something.
Uh,
Korokaro Someday.
yeah.
Okay.
The "Yay Happy Christmas" instead of like the high octane trance song. No, it's
It's
the
surprising.
Christmas
Like, you
song.
actually listen to it and try to count it out, and it's like, whoa, this is like blazing fast.
Happy Christmas.
Yeah. You'll get there. You'll get there.
We're getting there in a couple weeks.
Yeah, Happy Christmas, us. I'm always like one for like a really strong intro to a song. I feel like that can like really put you in the song, and I feel like this song is like the primo example of that, where it just starts from nothing. Like you just kind of get like this white noise kind of distortion, and then it's just boom, 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 but it just puts you right into the beat. It's like, oh my god, that's so cool. I love the intro to this song.
I'm so glad you said that, because actually, like, my favorite parts of the song are number 2, the intro, number 1, the outro, and like it's because of the same reason. Like, you have that kick, but more importantly to me is like on that kick later on they add like this dark synth sound, and especially in the outro, like where they're finishing off that last verse, as soon as they sustain that last note, they come in instantly with that dark synth, and it's so hype. I love it so much, especially because like the contrast it provides with the rest of the song. It's just the perfect time for it to come in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a weird song in that the parts where they're not singing might be the best parts of the song. Like that's weird to say in Love Live, and that's not an insult to the parts where they're singing, because they're very good. But wow, the parts where they're not singing are really good.
I mean, it's the same thing with Kowarioski we were saying earlier, where they're not singing, but like that guitar is like so sick.
Yeah, like guitar is its own vocalist.
Yeah.
We've joked about Guitar Chan joining Love Live before. What song was that in?
I don't remember.
Oh,
We
that
joked
was
about
in,
Vittori being her own instrument.
Hito Seishun, I want to say.
Yes, it is. How do you know that, Jesus?
I know all.
I'm so happy.
Dude, he
that
watches our show.
I'm so happy
I was
that you
on
know
that episode.
Sugoi.
I'm so happy that you know that obscure Holy Heck reference. Oh, Guitar Chan. Oh, a little more rock version.
Speaking of which, I mean, I didn't want to spoil the surprise, but Metal Panther mix, anyone?
I know about that. Actually, it's really funny that you say that, because like okay, real quick before we get into the actual metal mix, I was listening to Cutie Panther the other day. Like I just searched it up on YouTube, and like that could lead to some sketchy stuff when you search it up on YouTube. Like I'm sure there's a lot more bad versions of songs than there are good on YouTube. And I found this version of Cutie Panther, and I was like listening to it, and I was like getting like unreasonably more into the song than I usually do. I'm like, why is this? And then like I listened to it and I realized there's like this metal stuff going on in the background that's like completely fan-made. You know that one? And it's like,
it was hype.
I know, it was awesome. And I was like, wait a minute, this isn't the song. Why can't this be the song?
I'm not sure if we're talking about the same ones, but like I tried to look it up on YouTube.
Below.
Like all I could find was just like Dragon Force mixes. I was very confused.
Well, no, we are not talking about the same
Okay,
one.
all right, just checking.
We'll link that down below also.
Will we? I don't know if we can find it. Can you find it, EJ?
Oh, easily. All you have to type in is whatever I typed in earlier today.
But
oh
no,
my god,
there
we're
is
9 minutes in and we've talked about nothing.
There is actually, like you were saying, EJ, there is like a metal Cutie Panther mix that's like official Lantis, and it's real good. Wow. All right, what you want to talk about the song now? Okay, great. Me too. So, listen. We've all talked about different parts of the song being the best. I am, in terms of the best, I think the best is during the pre-chorus. I guess it's the pre-chorus. I don't even want to try to say what they're going to say, but it's the part where the two girls who aren't singing go hi hi, and the main girl like bam, bam, oh yeah, oh
the
yeah.
lights flow.
That's
Like,
hype. That's hype.
That is incredible. I am especially not gonna lie about the fact that I have done Cutie Panther claws while I was driving before.
Yeah,
Wait,
no shame. Same.
All right, I see you.
Listen,
Let us know down below if you've done Cutie Panther claws or spun your tail.
Which of those sections is your favorite though?
not the the light speed part. Is
Yeah,
my
yeah.
favorite.
No, I mean which girl doing it is your favorite?
Oh, I think Nico does
Nico.
it the first time. Big fan.
Yeah. Okay. Just checking.
Yeah.
Nico the rap goddess.
Yeah. I do think.
Can we get Soromaru to sing Rap God?
Oh goodness.
I think she. I'm beginning to sound like a foreign friend. No, but did someone ask the other day on a comment? They were like, "Can you find the foreign friend video?" I'm like, "I've tried so hard
it's impossible.
to find it.
It doesn't exist anymore.
I know.
For all I know, you guys could have totally made this up.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, oh man. So yeah, that's good. So this is just a classic example of like a song being the most basic song of all time, but they add so many bells and whistles on it that it becomes the coolest thing ever. Like, if you listen to the chorus, it's a 4-chord song. Like, I've written 4-chord songs before. It is like the most basic like song that you could possibly have, but they make it sound so great that it literally doesn't matter. It is so good. All it is just, I mean, I don't know the actual chords, but it's just a 4-chord song under the chorus, and that's really funny because it sounds like.
I think it's.
Huh?
Go ahead.
It's just so, it sounds so complex, and then when you like get down to it, it's like, oh wait, this is easy.
I think
the definite.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All you. All you.
Okay,
yes,
I was gonna say that I think they do that on purpose. Like, BB in particular does this a couple of times. So like, all right, hold on. Let me just preface this again real quick. I saw a discussion recently about differences in sound between Muse and Aqua, and like in particular, electronic songs came up. And like, I think most people by now would agree that part of the difference in sound would just be like mixing and production values. But
yeah,
in particular, yeah, for sure. I think that in particular for electronic songs, BB has this unique element to their songwriting that makes their song sound different. And it's exactly what you were talking about. It's that simplicity where like they focus very heavily on having a very prominent like kick drum beat. So you have this very tight, very compact kick drum that comes in the intro like you were saying, and they don't really lay all that much on top of it aside from like a few bells and whistles, and occasionally like when they want to amp up the hype they throw in some crazy synth licks, but the very foundation of it is very simple because they're doing it for like that kind of live venue aesthetic, which is it's something that you can catch very easily in a live crowd in like a very hectic type of scenario. Like you can just latch onto that drum beat like nothing else.
Yeah, we're going to EDC.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier, just how easily you can find BB songs online. It's because everybody just keeps uploading them because they're so good live.
Yeah.
This is I'm a huge Lily White fan. I love them live, but I think BB is undeniably the best subunit out of both the groups live.
Yeah, I think they like specifically tailor it towards that. Like just look at Psychic Fire. You know, it's the same sort of idea.
Oh.
Even the actual like stage production is higher than the other girls. Like,
I'll say the joke every time during the final live. They spent like 90% of the budget for that show on 10%, 5% went to the flower, and the other 90% went to BB's part. We're talking about like musical stuff here that really makes BB unique, but I think the part of the song that makes this song the song is far and away Maki. Just how
I was just gonna say that
eccentrically before. And how strangely she sings with no pitch control. She just goes out and makes noises. Like we've said it many times. She just goes out there and makes noises and sounds really goddamn good. And she goes and does it again. Like she has that backing of Ellie where she can just go do whatever she wants, and Ellie will be there to support her vocally, and that just gives her the free reins, and it sounds so good.
I know. I feel like the song is just so. I feel like this. I don't know each girl's like range by heart very well, but I feel like this song just jives with Maki so well. It just works so well with her, you know? And
and you have such a weird contrast between like this song and Ashuru Banzai, and I think that contrast with Maki's singing is really cool. You have the Rapiest song, that's this high tempo EDM song, and you have Ashuru Banzai, which is not either of those.
So, talking about the high tempo, like this, I feel like there's extremes in Love Live. Like I feel like Dead Center is J-pop, okay? That's your Sweet and Sweet Holiday. That's your Wonder Zone. Like
Bokuro no Live.
Yeah, that's like the middle. And I feel like as you go out, like there's the metal end and there's the EDM end. I mean, of course, this isn't like there's other genres other than those two, but like it's just like the next step in the metal direction is like pop rock. That's Todo Kanai, and then the next step after that is like Strawberry Trapper, and then the final step is like After School Navigators and Self Control, and that's just straight metal. And then you go the other direction and you get like, oh geez, like Diamond Princess no Jutsu in terms of like poppy kind of
Lily White song,
and electronic kind of deal.
Yeah, and then you get
and
like
you go further and you get to Azalea.
yeah,
and
you
stuff.
get like Innocent Bird. I was actually going to say it's funny you said that.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then the opposite end of the spectrum is Cutie Panther. Like this is the most EDM song Love Live has to offer. I don't think you can get more or less EDM, but you get what I'm trying to say here. Like this is at the opposite end of the kind of obscure genre spectrum. This is just trance music at this point.
I don't know what it is about this song that makes me feel like going on tangents, but when you were mentioning all the different EDM songs, is it just me, or is it like EDM songs in particular are disproportionately named in English? Like you have Humming Friend,
Yeah. No, you're right.
You have Guilty Night, Guilty Kiss, Daydream Warrior, Trouble Busters, Psychic Fire, Beat an Angel. I'm sure the list goes on. Like, is there a reason for this?
All of the Azalea songs.
All of the
I
Azalea
guess
songs.
it's synth pop. I guess that's synth pop more.
I don't know if it was you or if it was a comment, but someone said that Kanan was responsible for naming all the Azalea songs that were in all capital letters because of Happy Party Train. As it turns out, it's actually one of the Saint Snow Girls because literally all of the Saint Snow Girls, all of their songs are in capital letters. All the 2 extra ones we got plus Self Control, it's all capital letters and in English. Who did this? Leo, was it you?
What if one of them is EDM? That'd be cool as hell.
Maybe.
You didn't really hear very much of that middle one.
That'd just be like Guilty Kiss times 2. It's pretty much what it is.
I'm fine. Like, that's cool. That's okay.
I've beaten it to death on this podcast that I am just like, I will of course listen to it and enjoy it, but I'm just not as big of an EDM fan as I am of other things. But man, this song just pulls me in. This is a good song. Like, this is the hype, one of the most hype songs for a reason. Is all I'm trying to get at here. Like in my notes, I literally have, can you not get hype as hell for the song? And the answer is no, you can't.
Cutie Panther's a song that like kind of unfortunately turns like me off just because of how much people talk about it. And whenever I listen to it, I'm not as hyped as them. I think it's like very good song. It's not my favorite BB song. It's Psychic Fire. And shout out to the girls. But I think it's a very, very good song. And like we were talking about much early on in the segment, arguably the most iconic subunit song. And really helped the subunits get the praise that they deserve.
Something else that is not too characteristic for me is I'm a big like guitar solo kind of guy, like climactic like solos at the end of like rock or metal songs. I like that a lot. And I usually don't get very hyped for like EDM instrumental breaks because it just kind of sounds like to me like, okay, whatever, like they're just not singing. But this one, like where the synth comes in, I don't know how to imitate it, but like like big fan.
Oh, the bridge section, yeah.
Yeah, towards the end. And then you get right back into the other most hype part of the song. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Right after that. Oh man.
The synth does so much work in this song. Like in that outro I was talking about, like part of the reason that the dark notes hit so powerfully for me is because it mimics the narrative better than any other part of the song. Because like most of the time it's pretty upbeat and pretty bright synth notes, but at the end where they're getting dark, that's where they're saying like, I mean, I guess you could call them like the rapey lyrics, but like you're supposed to feel a sense of danger as like the listener, and that's exactly what it gives you. So like it's really hype for me.
Maki's coming after you. Watch out.
That's a danger boner. All right, so this segment has been 18 and a half minutes long, and I think we only spent about 4 minutes of it actually talking about Cutie Panther. We got off track a lot here, but that's fine.
Well, we got a lot in.
Hold on. We're not done talking about Cutie Panther. I'm not done here. All right, let me rein it back in real quick.
He's got more notes.
We didn't talk about my boy. I believe the composer is Hiroshi Sasaki on this song. And the reason I know that is because he did Dona Tokimo Zuto as well, which is the ED for School Idol Project Season 2. And the reason I bring this up is because, like, yeah, I've talked last episode I was here. I think I talked about like sort of percussion being a linking element between a few different singles, and this is something that he's carried over from other songs that he's done as well. Where like the song is mostly linear, like I was saying before. You're trying to make it easy for people to get locked into the beat when you're in a live show, but there are times as well where they go with more of an offbeat groove on the hi-hat, like especially you can hear it when they start up with the second verse, and that's actually something that I think is carried out throughout the entirety of Dona Tokimo Zuto, and it's really weird, the similarities, honestly, because this song is more electronic, where the hi-hats they feel a little bit more electronic and the triplets aren't like real triplets, but like it's pretty much the same template that you have in that song, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, super neat.
I've been working in Ableton for the last few weeks, And it's really funny to like, I have like a nice piano melody, and I was like, yeah, but what if I ruined it and just made it a synthesizer? That's what that guy did. They're just like, yeah, what if I took the ED and just made it Cutie Panther? I guess the other way around. What if I took this? Wait, Cutie Panther had to have come out first, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Cutie Panther came out first, yeah.
What if I took this synth and just made it like calming and nice? Easy. Are we done with 20 minutes? This is the single longest time we've ever talked on a song. Congratulations.
All right, we'll cut it off
I'm happy
here.
you're all here for
It's
this.
a good ass song. It's a good ass song.
Now,
Good ass stuff.
Luke was saying how it could be made an argument, and I think it can be made an argument. You want to talk about songs that get completely overshadowed by their main song, the B-sides? Ooh, Natsu Owaranai Day. Play that song.
ため息の渚一人きり繰り返すのは懐かしい笑顔ため息が揺れて切なくて今も終わりはさよなら恋の終わりなの楽しくて毎日奇跡だったいつの間に秋風が吹いてたのもう一度だけ会えればいいのに大好きな気持ち届けてほしいもう一度だけ会えればいいのに忘れたくない青いサンゴ礁
So, let's start out like this song starts out. I feel like that's appropriate. These three piano notes. Okay. You wanna what did Pele say? A cute song about chasing and sticking to your beloved like glue. These piano notes stick to you like glue in this song. They don't go away throughout this whole song. They're here they're here for the ride.
You and me together was stuck like glue. Uh-oh, you know? Remember that song?
No.
I wish.
Continue. Go on.
Well, in this song, no, they're extremely persistent. They go throughout the chorus, and it's or the verse and the chorus, I guess. But what's really funny about them is when you first hear these three notes, your first instinct is to think like, oh, this must be in some weird like kind of off time signature, like some weird like, wow, this is avant-garde. And then it gets into the song, and then you find out that the notes are kind of like on the offbeat, like we were talking about last song. I'm like, wow, that's so cool. And then you can really hear this at the very end of the song when it's just the piano notes again, because you can see like they've been going on the whole time, like they didn't stop. And then like as soon as like the actual backing and like the lyrics cut out, you're like, oh, the piano notes were really obscurely placed this whole song, and not just at these parts. And I think that's so cool. Can we talk about how underrated the song is? I'm sorry. Go on. Someone else say something.
It's extremely underrated for sure. I mean, I think everybody knows the reason why it's underrated. People are expecting us to talk about this, and we will, but I just want to stick on the instrumental for a little bit because I think it's pretty cool too. Like, it's really simple, like you were saying, but like, you have that piano melody from the intro, and that's going on throughout the whole song. You have like this super bare bones guitar, and then you have like the occasional guest appearances from the chimes and things of that nature. But then you also have like this drum beat going on that's also really simple. But what's neat about it is that they made some substitutions in there to make it a little bit more flavorful. So if you were to just like imagine writing it down in drum notation, they basically substituted half of where you would normally put your hi-hat strikes with other things like the maracas or the cabasas or whatever shakers that they were using there.
The shaky boys.
The shaky boys.
If someone can figure out like which one of those it actually is, please let me know.
Let us know down below.
There you go.
Let us know down below what obscure percussion instrument this is. Let us know if it's as silly as the triangle or the bongos.
And then in addition to that, they also replaced some of the snare hits. Like they replaced some of them with an electronic snare as opposed to a wooden snare. And then some of the other ones with just straight up claps. So the beat itself, it's simple and it's unchanged the whole time. But the fact that they have those substitutions in there makes it feel more robust.
That's a way, I've never really thought about putting it that way. That's actually really neat. Like the way you were just talking about right there.
Super neat way of going about it.
Okay, so one of my notes just says R and BB. I think I just wanted to say that phrase.
That's all you need.
So there you go.
Yeah, we came to the conclusion that this is the first R&B song. Through a lot of research, we scrolled down the discography a little bit.
Painstaking.
Yeah,
No,
painstaking
we totally
research.
missed. It was in like the little more rock CD. Where it's, I don't know. Oh no, not Gabriel. A little more R&B. So, oh man, there's so many things I wanted to say about this song. I don't want to waste time though because I wanted to talk about this song for like weeks, and it's like something that happens to me is I get like really, really, really into a song after we do it. So it's like, oh man, like but this song, I got into it like at the prime time. I was like, I have just enough time to listen to this and gush about it when it's time. I'm so happy. So if you've been around for a while, you know your boy loves some line cliches. And I'm sure if I've explained it before. It's really kind of hard to explain for people who don't know what a line cliche is. But think of the part in this song where Ellie goes Tanoshikute, Tanoshikute, na 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 na, and the beat under it goes from like a nice like na 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 as like she kind of like holds the same kind of notes, like the same pitch. I'm a huge fan of that. And this song has about 78,000 line cliches. I've determined that I think like 6 out of 10 songs in my top 10 have some sort of line cliche in them, and this is no coincidence. Like, if your song has a line cliche, I'm almost guaranteed to like it.
What was the song we were just listening to that came out, and you were like, "Ooh, line cliches, I'm in."
The song from Koi no Katachi.
Oh yeah. Just came out. It actually literally just came out yesterday.
Did it actually?
No.
Oh, I mean, I didn't think so, but.
No, it's a good thing that you said that though, because I think so. This song is composed by probably one of your favorite composers. I would think the same guy that did Majuku Dreamer. So that makes sense.
Weird.
And, like, you can hear like similar things like line cliches and like those reversal sound effects going the whole time. So yeah, it makes sense. There's consistency there.
I'm a big fan of reverse sound effects. I actually just learned in Ableton how to do like, you know, like that spooky like ghost voice that you see in horror movies where like the crazy reverb starts before they start speaking. So it's like, hey guys, what's up? And then like it like fades out. You know what I'm trying to say?
I think
like,
I do.
It I don't know. You gotta
Just
like reverse
DMX
your voice.
growling.
Oh, by the way,
Lovesomes.
important Love Live news. If you didn't know, DMX released a cover of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer today.
It will
Definitely
be
go
linked
check
down
that
below.
out.
It will 100%.
That's going to be the
linked
third
down
song they covered during the Jingle Bells episode.
That is
Just so you know.
exceptionally important. It is so good.
Can we analyze DMX Jingle Bells in the
Yes.
Christmas
Oh
episode?
yeah.
Yes, or
Oh,
just
yeah.
making sure.
I'm totally down for that.
Okay. So I feel like I've talked a lot, but there is one more thing I gotta say before I let everybody else have their nice little turn here. Something that you might not pick up on the first time you listen to the song, and it definitely took me a few times, was the backing in the chorus. Like, you kind of really have to concentrate on it because the vocals are really, really overpowering in the chorus because, I mean, they're like the star of the show. But the backing just goes down a scale. Like, the backing just goes down, it falls down a hole and never to be seen again. Like, I don't know particularly what note it starts on, but it just kind of starts at like, bah, 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 bah. It just keeps going down. And it sounds awesome. I love it. Do you know what I'm talking about, EJ?
I think I do know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that a couple times. Good.
Like, if you just listen to it, just the bass just goes down and lower and lower.
Oh,
and lower.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And the only time it gets back up is when they start over and it goes back down again. It starts right at the Moichi no Take.
Yep.
That's. Oh man, I'm sorry. I've been hogging this so much. EJ, please say something. I know you want to say this, or Luke, anybody. Get me out of this
let
Natsu hell.
Luke go because I have plenty of more things to say.
I think you guys are avoiding the actual best part of the song, the undeniable best part.
Oh,
of the
we're
song.
not avoiding this by any stretch
Ellie
of the imagination.
singing in this song is so damn good.
All right. Well, I mean, that was kind of like a saving
Cat's
the
out of
best
the
for
bag.
last.
No,
Yeah, that was like
we're going to that. I can't hold it in. I've been holding in this Ellie singing load for days, and I'm letting it go.
Can I say a controversial opinion real quick?
Please
No.
do.
No. All right. Well, here it goes. I think not objectively. I think this is the best solo in Love Live. Ooh, I said it.
I don't know
so
if
you
I'd say
the-
best
You say
solo, but
controversial, but I say I 100% agree.
Whoa.
I'd have to sit down and like listen to, you know, like really like listen to some other stuff, because in the heat of the moment I don't want to say yes, but this is a pretty good candidate for that. Because just, and not even just the soul, I'm not even talking about just the soul, I'm talking about throughout this entire damn song. Is this the most in someone's element anyone's ever been? Like, we were talking about Maki being in her element in Cutie Panther, and this like kind of sensual, you know, rapey song. That's where she fits in. But has anybody been more in their element in a moment than Ellie right here?
I would say no.
I can make some strong arguments for Yoshiko.
You can make some. I can make some strong like Chica being inspirational moments, or Hanukkah being inspirational.
And I would toss all of them in the trash. All right.
Go ahead.
We were railing on the song before, at least EJ and I were, but I feel like Yoshiko is supremely in her element in Koreyaski. Like,
I can't
so
deny
much
this.
so.
I cannot, but I also can't put it at number one.
Yeah, not number one, but still.
But yeah, this what a vocal performance, and the other two just get out of the way. EJ was even talking about it, and Tyler and I noticed it when he mentioned it. How they totally she's just going crazy, and every time they're singing together, and they obviously just scaled her volume down and brought everybody else's volume up.
Yeah, can you like say what you told us, EJ? Because like you said it, and I noticed it, and I was like, wow, how did I not notice this before?
Yeah, I was saying that the first chorus, like, I mean, I love the first chorus, but sometimes it just cracks me up because if you listen for each of them individually, you hear what they were going for with Nico and Maki trying to sing a little bit more subdued because that's just the kind of vibe the song has. But Ellie doesn't care. She's just going balls to the wall the entire time. And like, obviously that doesn't mesh. So they have to just mix the hell out of her. So they just like shove her down and to the left, and they like bring Nico and Maki up to bring them like in line with each other. But if you listen just for Ellie, like you can just hear her like screaming from the other studio, just going nuts.
She's in the building next door. Someone help her.
She's so incredible in the song. And if you guys haven't watched it live, you can find it on YouTube, and it's just as good live. You know, slow songs like this we've talked about are the easiest to perform live. And woof, Nanjo nails it.
Weird. Nanjo, who sings professionally all the time, has a really consistent live show. That's so weird.
It's insane, dude.
So I don't know if we're forgetting some kind of obscure solo. I mean, not including solo mixes, obviously. We're pretty sure that this is the longest solo in Love Live. From the bridge to her first part of the last chorus, this is the longest solo, right?
I want to say so, yeah. Like, if you're including both parts of that, you know, the first time that I was on this show, like, Styx made a comment about this one part in Daisuki Datoro Daijobu I really like, and I just rattled off the timestamp. Because there are just certain points in certain songs that I just listened to so many times that I know the timestamps, and this happens to be one of them. So this one's 2:39 to 3:16, so it's like 37 seconds, which is insane.
That is longer than Nozomi's in Futari Happiness. That is much longer. Because I just timed it out in my head, and I'm like, that's a little bit longer.
I thought, okay.
And that was really long.
I thought you were making a reference to, like, I think last episode where it was the Lily White episode where we were talking about Nozomi being really prominent in songs. I was like, well, yeah, Nozomi is really prominent in Moshimo. And then I was like, wait.
That was good. Yeah, Moshimo's the longest solo.
Thinking
emoji. Badly drawn thinking emoji.
I like how the second verse, this is kind of what you were saying, EJ. The second verse is just the first verse, but enhanced. Like, they just add, like, hey, you know how that sounded cool? Well, here's some more instruments. Weird. Now it sounds cooler. Like, it is literally just the first verse, but much more complicated. And I think that's so neat.
I like that breakdown that they have before they go into the second verse. That bang, 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 bang. It's like kind of weird. But it's also very enjoyable to listen. I like that. It's like kind of jarring, but it gets you to look around and be like, oh, let me start listening again. What the hell was that?
It takes you back to the original like verse chord progression.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And
jarring
that's real.
Seems to be like it's a big thing in this song. Like there's a number of moments where it seems like they mess around with the cadence a lot and they do things really suddenly, and I really like that. So instrumentally, like what you were talking about, that's one example. The outro is another example where like it cuts off pretty abruptly. Like it comes down a little bit towards the end, but then they just cut it off quicker than you'd expect. But I thought it was really satisfying.
It's like one of those things where it's like, like they reverse the image and it just looks like it's symmetrical. You know what I mean? Where it's like it looks like someone has like the same face on each side. That's like what they did with this song. It's like it's like the intro comes in and it's just the piano, and the outro is the same thing. It's like, did they just reverse the song halfway through? Like,
Who would win? Let's see.
It was like Honon or like Kanoka.
Who would win, Makam or
Wait, I gotta
Iki?
write this. I gotta write this down. Who are we doing?
Makam or
Maki?
Iki? Yeah, Makam
No.
or Iki? It's Makam or Iki.
No, it's Mom or Keek.
Mom or
Oh my god.
I guess it'd be Iki. It'd still be Iki there, because Keek or Keek. I guess it would be Keek or.
What
about Ellie? Ellie's really hard to do
Iki.
because she's only got 3 letters.
Who would win, L or
Who
Il?
would win, Neen or Cook? Ooh, that's a dangerous word. Continue.
So another thing, like where the abruptness comes in, this is going to be opening up a whole can of worms because this is to do with the vocals, and there's like still a ton to say about that. But like, what makes that one solo we were talking about, that Ellie solo, so good is just the variety that she throws in there. So like, sometimes in previous songs we were talking about how like this feels like she's definitely in her element. In the songs where she's not as much in her element, sometimes it feels like her delivery is like maybe a little hammy or a little bit otherwise heavy-handed.
Yeah,
but
I know
like,
what you mean.
Yeah, in this song she's hitting like every sweet spot. So the upper end of her dynamics were on point. So like if you just listen to like the very end of it, that last Hoshi, that's like the only reason to continue living on without Muse on this planet. But like aside from that, even the lower end is really nice, whereas she's not taking it over the top with the vibrato like she used to. She reins it in a little bit there, and she throws in a ton of variety with the breaths and the pauses, which is the abruptness I was talking about, where sometimes she's pushing into a note and then pulling on a note and just like throwing it at different parts in the cadence. So the timing and the structure, it's really unique as far as solos go, and that alone tells a pretty big story. Like when you consider the instrumental and the meaning of the song and all this sort of stuff, it adds a layer of emotion to the kinds of things that she's saying.
I think it's really funny. It's like the way you described it. It's like they had a checklist. Like what is everything good that Ellie's good at? And they just like checked it along as the solo went on, and they just ended up with a full like page of check marks. Like, we got them all.
Exactly. That's why I feel like I don't even have to think about why this is my number one solo. It's because other solos are great, and I don't mean to knock any of them. I love me some solos, both Muse and Aqua, but none of them have quite the breadth of technicality that this one does. And like, you could say, sure, it's because this one's 37 seconds. But first of all, how dare you? She earned that time. And second of all, like, it doesn't feel that long because of how frequently she's switching things up with the delivery and all that sort of stuff.
I feel like Ellie, I guess Nanjo, was kind of like, I don't want to say treated unfairly, because like she got her fair share of stuff, but I do feel like a lot of her stuff is very underwhelming compared to a lot of the like the rest of the cast. Like just like the amount of time they were allocated, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, we've talked about it before, where Ellie arguably had more boring parts in the first big half like of the Muse's discography. She kind of had those boring kanon short parts, or like parts that weren't really exciting. And while this might not be exciting to just like dance to, but this is exciting as hell when you like girls sounding good.
Yeah, this, like, I always reference when I talk about Ellie that she had a phenomenal, like, few years of singing. And so one of them, like, I mentioned 2014 a lot, but really this was the start of it, like, middle of 2013. That run that she had was just, like, gold after gold. It was insane.
Yeah, the second half of her discography is phenomenal.
Yeah,
she feels like she's so much more comfortable in every song that she's singing in.
They absolutely put her in her comfort zone, and you know, her situation right now kind of reminds me of in Aqua Hanamaru's, because she is supremely talented as well, but I feel like she's never given an extended period to be in her comfort zone. So I'm hoping we'll see like a 2018-esque, you know, like 2014, 2018-esque performance from her.
What you said about that, it's funny because you were talking about when we first listened to my list, you were like, this is what Hanamaru needed right here. And then she got a very great part in My Mind Tonight as well. And I was like, the first time I heard it, you can ask Luke, as soon as that part came on, because I think it's the first girl to sing after the chorus, so it's stuff we've never heard before. The second it came on, I was like, EJ's gonna like this part.
You are correct. And you know, I said this is what she needed, but like, it's true. but it's not everything she needs, because again, like Ellie, there's a ton that she is like capable of doing. So I mean, I guess we'll see going forward, but I mean, we're still talking about BB here. There's still so much to say, but we only have so much time. I mean, Ellie really is just a show stealer in the song. There's no other way to describe it.
Yeah,
it's pretty rarely that Ellie goes out and grabs and takes control of it, so it's really cool to see her do that.
Oh yeah, you guys have mentioned before like Maki's ability to steal songs. What I thought was pretty interesting in this one was there's less Maki in this song than in most songs.
I don't even know if Maki and Nico actually exist in this song.
I've actually noticed that. I've noticed. It's so funny you say that. Like I was driving one time, and I was like, like this is a subunit song. There's more than just Ellie in this song, and I like listened to it, and I was like, there's Nico, there's Ellie, there's Nico. Where's Maki? Hello.
I think Maki's hard to like pick out when you subdue her like they had to in this song,
Yeah.
Maki works when she's just able to go.
Right. Like the upbeat nature of songs plays to Nico and Maki's strengths more so than Ellie's, and it's sort of the reverse situation here. But like in terms of how the lyrics are actually distributed, I'm pretty sure Maki gets 2 solos, but Ellie and Nico get 3 apiece. And then in terms of the interjection duties, Maki only gets 1, but even that's shared with Nico, whereas Ellie and Nico both get like their own solo interjection parts.
She got the song before.
True.
Yeah, we were talking about people being perfectly in their element. I think EJ mentioned this at the beginning of this. Maki's in her element in that song, and then we got Ellie perfectly in her element. And then was Trouble Busters in the next song?
On the next single?
Yeah, I think Trouble.
Yeah, it's the B-side to Fuyu.
Yeah, it is the B-side. Well, Nico gets her spot in the sunshine in that one. In the sunshine. Ooh. Her son in the spotlight. Her place in the spotlight. Sorry, I'm broken right now. Someone needs to wind me back up a little bit.
There's something. Okay, so after this year, and we're going a little off track again. After this year, and especially the Daya episode, I have a very hard time placing Daya as my last girl now.
Girlfriend.
I mean, that's good. I mean, the girl went up. And unfortunately, there's always got to be a last place in any group. So sorry to say that Ellie is probably my least.
Don't do this to me.
Not to say that I don't like her, but no, this is I needed to like preface that story with that, because that it's important to show how much this matters to me. I was talking to them before about how I'm supremely excited for the third volume of the solo mixes to come out. Not for Sunny Day Song, not for Bokutachi. I mean, I am, but for this song in particular, there is literally nothing more I want to do than have Ellie sing this whole song. Like, it's gonna be crazy. I am the most excited for Ellie to just belt this song into my ears. Yeah, I am so excited.
When I'm looking at like which solos I'm really excited for, it's not just who I like in a particular song. It's whose solo I think is gonna feel like a different song entirely. And this is definitely gonna be one of those cases, because like we were saying with the chorus, she's not gonna have like that same mixing problem, so it's gonna sound different for sure.
Not wanting Rin Shunjo romantic, dude. That's gonna be the GOAT.
I mean, it's another situation where it's not number 1, but it's on there somewhere.
Get out, banned.
Yo, we get to see the situation. What if Maki was in this song?
What if
her solo mix?
What if the situation's in this song? Well, we've officially we've done it by about a minute. We have broken the Cutie Panther record.
We have broken the Cutie Panther record. Wow, this has been an episode and a half. Well, EJ, you're like the first guest on our like we've had Naoto and we've had Aaron Cerise, but like I know, and well, yeah, but I'm talking about since we started getting hyper analytical and only doing like 2 songs, like that. Like I know how much you like to talk about songs when it's a song you like, so I was like, hey, I was waiting for this. I was like, this is gonna be long.
Guest episodes can be as long as we'll go. Like it don't matter. None of this matters.
Just so the viewers, they know this. They don't know behind the scenes what's going on. Both of these songs, I still have notes I didn't talk about, but we're trying to keep it like under a certain length here. You feel?
We're trying to keep it under an hour and a half.
Hit us with some last minute notes. Actually, you know what? Take us back to Cutie Panther for 1 second. What is something you
got
to say about Cutie Panther?
You got a minute.
Oh God!
Wait. Go.
Oh God. Okay.
I changed the background music and the background and everything. We're going back to Cutie Panther.
Oh God, this is way.
Panicking.
Okay, so another thing that feels like really different about BB songs is that their style of electronic is very much anthemic. Whereas you compare that to something like Aqua, it's much more of a relaxed sort of feel. I mean, sometimes they have the more upbeat ones, but anthemic in the sense that it's things that are supposed to be played in a stadium. And yes, the kick is one of those sorts of things, but like the synth itself is another one. If you listen to the synth in that song in particular and compare it to something that's done in Aqua's, it's much more airy. It's got like this sort of reverbing sound to it, and so that's that's another big difference, at least as far as the atmosphere is concerned. And then for Natsu Owaranai Day,
wait, hold on, you got another 10 seconds, quick.
Oh, this is also Cutie Panther. Oh, geez. Oh God.
No,
okay.
Wait. No, I was just giving him a minute in total. That was a joke.
Oh God.
I'll give you another 15 seconds. I'll give you another 15 seconds. No, you got 20 seconds.
Okay, we're moving on to Natsu. Okay, so first verse in Natsu, Ellie's solo. Another thing that I thought really interesting as far as like the cadence and stuff was concerned is she mimics like the structure of certain lines. So like she'll start one line in a particular cadence and then she'll repeat it again. But the way she does it the second time is she'll reverse like the way that the power's done. So the end of it is more powerful, whereas the previous one she like dipped down towards the end. And then sometimes she'll like end a note earlier than usual and like leave a little bit of hanging tension there and then resolve it towards the end. And you compare that to like what Nico does in the same or the second chorus or the second pre-chorus where she's doing the same lines mirrored structurally, but it's like she does it differently than Ellie does. She just does the exact same thing 2 times in a row. So like Ellie uses that delivery to her advantage to like make a more robust story.
You got 10 seconds. You got 10 seconds. Go.
Shout out to my boys Dextroy and Sticks, you feel me?
All right, this is the new segment with EJ. EJ gets a minute to just puke out notes. That was good. That was funny.
That is the most I've learned in like all of my college experience right there. That was it.
How about we just do the show like that? We'll just take we'll each get a minute.
Oh God, lightning.
Hey guys, welcome back to our 4-minute podcast.
Yeah, we're trying to save time. There you go.
In keeping with the theme of songs that have some really, really good elements to them, but maybe don't get the level of discussion they deserve, the question we have for you guys today is, what do you think is the most underrated solo? And this can be from either Abuse or Aqua or both. So why don't you guys take it off?
You want to go first, Luke?
I'll go first because I think we all know your answer. We'll save you for second. My answer is Rico in Guilty Eyes Fever. I love her solo at the end of that song. It's my favorite part of the song by far, which is weird because I'm usually not that huge a fan of Rico singing. But definitely over the last 6 months to a year, she's been fantastic, and that song really exemplifies that very well.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one. We talked about that song, how like everyone was. You want to talk about in their element? Just the link Guilty Eyes Fever. Everybody's in their element in that song.
That's a good ass song. All right, Tyler, what is your answer?
Wow, weird. I'm gonna have to go with this obscure song called Natsu Owaranai by a girl named Ellie. I could not put that in here. Yeah, what is that song?
That's a pretty good one. That's like my number 3.
Yeah, like at least number 7. I thought about this before. I was like, what else am I gonna do? Like, it was between me and EJ. Like, one of us was gonna say it, so I thought it'd be me. I mean, I don't have to talk about. Yeah, I don't think I have to talk about this anymore if you guys are around for the rest of the episode. So EJ.
All right, so I got one from both groups. Just as a little backup here.
Oh, look at you being special.
I mean, I gotta represent the city, for this podcast. So, for Muse, the one that I'll go with is the A-side to Shunjo romantic single Omoide Ijo ni Naritakute, and it's Umi solo. And the timestamp for this one is 2:02 to 2:18. It is a really, really good solo. It's
that you were wrong about.
Okay, I was half right. I'm sorry. Okay, podcast, I'll admit it. I guessed the timestamp before I checked, and I said the ending timestamp when it was actually... I thought it was the beginning. It was actually the end. But, okay, I was
just
close.
Not guess the timestamp. You could have saved yourself all this shame.
We can edit that part out. No worries there. So, again, it's sort of a similar situation to Natsu or Anaide, where there's a huge breadth of technicality, but this time it's sort of compressed into just a few seconds. It's like half the length or less than that. But, I mean, Umi, we already know, is just so talented, and this is another song where she's absolutely in her element in that slower sort of Latin influence style. So if you guys don't already know what I'm talking about, you should definitely check it out. And as far as Aqua is concerned, the one that I would pick is Chika's solo from Yume de Yozora wa Tarashitai. And I don't think that her solos in particular are underrated, but I think the song in general is, so maybe people don't think of that one so much. And when I listen to solos and I rank some of my favorites, a lot of times what I'm looking for is the subtleties and dynamics especially is one thing that I key in really hard. And Chika is like a master of this. So anytime that she goes into more of a delicate range and she's going up and down between different power levels, she does it so smoothly, and she does it with purpose. So it's one of those songs that I feel like if people don't listen to it with too much attention, it's one of those gems that you could totally miss. So again, if it's one of those things that you're not already familiar with, go listen to it right now.
Tyler hates that song, so
Stop!
I've heard.
What are you
It's so
stop?
disappointing.
What are you talking about? I don't hate that song. I hate when you say that. That's what I hate.
let us know down below if Tyler hates that song.
You want to hear about underrated? EJ said both of the names in like the pre-recording, like what we were talking about, and I was like, you know, like the pictures of like the people doing like calculus in front of them. Like I was doing that calculus right there. I was like, what are those songs? Like, do I even know Love Live anymore? And then I like, yeah,
You're right. Yep.
And then I like
that just shows it's a good answer, right? Underrated, you feel?
And it's just two that these just like B-sides and like insert songs that just have like Japanese names. I'm like, what songs are these?
It's not even the B-side. Omoide is the A-side.
Yeah.
Oh, both of them are technically, right?
Are they?
Okay, well,
oh, yeah, they are. Mijuku
no,
Dreamer, right?
Well, Mijuku
Yeah,
Dreamer's
Yume's
that's
the
like
A-side.
kind of
It doesn't really count.
like
It's
doesn't count,
insert
but
singles,
like
yeah.
But that outfit's on the cover though. Think about it.
Mijuku
Yep.
Dreamer confirmed. No
This
one
just-
cares about.
This just proves that Tyler hates it.
Oh, actually,
Anywho.
coincidentally, nice that we brought that up because we were talking about how like this is a really good album side to side from BB. Same deal with like Yuma Derozura and Mijuku Dreamer for me. I love both of those songs. I think like I showed you guys my rankings. Both of them are in my top 10 easily.
Yeah, good album. But
anyway,
we got a lot of stuff going on these next couple of weeks. The biggest
do.
of which is definitely our giveaway that we're doing. Go check out our video on our channel. We'll link it down below. We're giving away these beautiful moment rings.
Moment rings.
Moment rings, almost like the song name, but only it's got an S at the end.
Weird.
Is that what that means?
Go check them out.
Is that a snow halation reference?
A link to enter it is down below, and go comment on that other video to get a chance to win one there also.
Yep. And something we started doing last week that you're actually hearing the result of right now is we have a straw poll at the end of every video now. Like I guess it's in the description, so it's at whatever time you decide to scroll down. That determines what songs are playing in the intro, where we discuss last time's questions, and the outro, where we discuss the questions that haven't been answered yet. So if you'd like, go down and vote in that straw poll and decide what song we'll be playing right now for next episode.
Go pick for us because we're lazy and don't want to have to randomly decide it.
That's pretty much it for the last. I haven't downloaded like a song because I don't have the whole discography on my computer, and I was kind of like downloading it as I went. So like for like the last two videos, I was just like, I don't feel like downloading, and I just picked a song that I haven't used since like episode 3. I was like, yes, Snow Halation works great. But anyway,
So this week, Guilty Nice Guilty Kiss won obviously, and Tokimeki Bunragaki won. We're gonna
Yeah, perfect.
That is not the correct pronunciation.
that's
Okay, hands.
Weebanese is hard for me. And this
EJ.
week we're
sorry, I was gonna thank EJ for being on the show.
I was gonna thank you guys for having me on the show.
Wow,
we thank you.
What a coincidence.
EJ,
The EJ
thank you so
hour.
much for coming. Thank you so much for coming on the show, as always.
Yeah,
It's
no
always such a
problem.
joy to have you. You take our lowly 8-minute discussions and push them to 18-minute discussions.
I do
More
what I can.
importantly,
You got to
though-
get over 10 minutes. That's how you bring in the big bucks.
More importantly, though, he takes my breath away. Thank you very much.
Ooh, woo, sugoi.
Sugoi.
All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a good night.
「